They lied to you about wealth. They made it look like it lives in yachts and gated mansions and glass towers in downtown cities. But real wealth, the kind that lasts, the kind that liberates, has nothing to do with watches or wire transfers. It starts in your mind. It starts the moment you realize that wealth is not money. Wealth is power. And power is born from clarity of thought, unwavering belief, and disciplined obsession. Do you think Rockefeller chased dollar bills? Do you think Edison fought through 10,000 failed attempts just for patent royalties? No, these men chased dominion over themselves. They chased mastery. They chased the fire inside their own souls. Because here is the truth. You do not attract real wealth by wanting it. You attract real wealth by becoming it. By becoming the kind of person that cannot be ignored. By becoming the kind of mind that bends obstacles into stepping stones. By turning pain into purpose and every no into fuel for the next move. The world does not reward intentions. It rewards executions. It rewards the man who keeps showing up when the rest have tapped out. It rewards the woman who gets so disgusted with mediocrity that she burns every comfort zone she's ever known. You cannot casually become wealthy. You cannot flirt with success. You must court it like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. Your mental, spiritual, and financial freedom is at stake. Your children's mindset is at stake. Your legacy is at stake. Wealth doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your identity. It sharpens your instincts. It demands that you stretch, break, rebuild, and reforge the very shape of who you are. But here's what they won't tell you in classrooms. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how connected you are. It's about how willing you are to become obsessed, dangerously obsessed with mastering your time, your thoughts, your habits. It's about radical ownership. No one's coming to save you. No one owes you success. No one will hand you purpose, vision, or financial independence. You must take it. And to take it, you must first take control of the battlefield that lives between your ears. Because every great fortune started in silence. In a quiet room. With a decision. Ford didn't wait for permission to build the assembly line. He built it in his mind first, and then he demanded that the world catch up. Walt Disney stood on a patch of Florida swamp and saw castles. They told him it was insane. He built it anyway. Because vision is wealth. Belief is wealth. Relentless action rooted in clear purpose, that's the foundation of every empire you admire. But let's be clear. This is war. A war against your lower self. A war against laziness disguised as comfort. But a war against the temptation to settle. The moment you say, I deserve more, the universe listens. But it does not hand you anything. It sends tests. It sends silence. It sends storms. And it watches to see if you will break, or if you will build. If you truly want to build wealth, real wealth, you must get serious about one thing, and the discipline of thought. Because money is a shadow. It follows value, and value follows identity. You must become the kind of person who is irreplaceable. Not because of what you have, but because of who you are. Your integrity, your standards, your obsession with excellence, these are assets. Assets are more valuable than gold, more powerful than 1 million followers or a flashy car. The people who build real wealth understand something most will never grasp. Success is a mindset before it is a result. And wealth is a frequency. You either rise to meet it, or you stay trapped in scarcity, complaining that the world is unfair. But the world isn't unfair. It's just unforgiving to the unfocused. And you're focused at razor-sharp clarity of what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to give for it. That is the lever that moves your entire destiny. You don't need a miracle. You need a system. You need a mindset that refuses to be average. You need rituals that are built not around what feels good, but what builds greatness. The truth, Most people will never experience wealth because they will never become the person required to hold it. They want the lifestyle, but not the mindset. They want the rewards, but not the sacrifice. They want the outcome, but not the becoming. Look, you are not most people. You would not be hearing these words if something inside you wasn't already waking up. The part of you that's tired of excuses, and the part of you that craves challenge, the part of you that knows deep down you were made for more. And you are. You were never meant to crawl through life hoping things get easier. You were built to rise, to conquer, to sculpt yourself into a force so undeniable that even your enemies must respect you. But that rise, it begins in discipline. So discipline is not punishment. Discipline is freedom. It is the choice to train your mind to obey your vision, to do what must be done, even when every cell in your body screams for rest. It's waking up before the sun and building when no one's watching. It's saying no to distractions, not because they're wrong, but because they're irrelevant to your purpose. Carnegie didn't become one of the richest men in history by accident. He mastered steel, but more importantly, he mastered himself. And that self-mastery is the furnace in which wealth is forged. So ask yourself, can you keep showing up after failure? Can you keep grinding in the dark with no applause, no trophies, no instant reward? Because that's where champions are made. In the shadows, in silence. It's where the seeds of greatness are planted, long before the harvest. And when the time for action comes, when the world tries to shove you into a corner, when the pressure mounts and the air gets thin, you will not fold. You will not beg. You will move. Because action is your weapon. Not overthinking. Not waiting for the perfect moment. Not reading another book hoping you'll feel ready. But moving. No. Today. Despite the fear, despite the odds, despite the whisper that says you're not good enough, you act anyway. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you feel. It responds to what you do. It moves for the bold, for the relentless, for the one who dares to believe that wealth is not a gift, it's a conquest. But even in conquest, there's failure. There's pain. There are nights when you'll question everything, when the weight feels too much and the path seems endless. That's when resilience is born. Resilience isn't just getting up after a fall. It's deciding before you fall that you will rise no matter what. Look at Lincoln. Defeated in business, rejected in love, crushed in elections over and over. But he kept going because he wasn't chasing comfort. He was chasing contribution. And when your mission is greater than your ego, there is nothing that can stop you. Resilience is the art of transmuting failure into fuel, of looking pain in the eye and saying, you may slow me, but you will not stop me. Every great builder of wealth has worn scars, mental scars, emotional scars. But they didn't hide them. They used them. They turned wounds into wisdom, and wisdom in weapons. And if you want to build something that lasts not a moment of hype, but a dynasty of impact, then you must learn to adapt. Because wealth doesn't belong to the fastest. It belongs to the most flexible. And the ones who evolve, who refuse to stay stuck in yesterday's strategy while the world changes. Tesla didn't cling to horse-drawn carriages. He imagined wireless energy before the world even believed it was real. He adapted to possibilities others were blind to. You must become that kind of thinker, not reactive, proactive, not attached to comfort, and married to growth. And when life throws you the unexpected, because you don't crumble, you recalibrate, you pivot, you find a new path with the same purpose. Because real wealth builders aren't gamblers. They're architects. They don't rely on luck. They design their lives like a blueprint. But here's the part most never understand. Real wealth isn't just built in your grind. It's also built in your heart, through gratitude. Not passive gratitude, not generic positivity, but the kind of fierce gratitude that reminds you I'm alive. I have breath. I have time. I have opportunity. That makes me dangerous. Gratitude keeps your ego in check. It grounds you. It sharpens your focus and reminds you why you started. Because what's the point of building wealth if you forget how to feel it? If you become so focused on the mountain peak that you forget to breathe the air as you climb, you want more? Good. But never forget to appreciate the fire already burning inside you. That fire is what made the first step possible. And that fire, if you feed it, will make the impossible inevitable. So yes, building real wealth takes time. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it will cost you old habits, old friends, old beliefs. But what you get in return, you get power. You get clarity. You get freedom from fear, from limitation, from dependence on anyone else to fund your dreams. You become the source and the generator, the creator of your own destiny. That's wealth, not the number in your bank account, but the strength in your spine. It's the calm in your spirit, the storm in your soul that refuses to die. That storm is your gift. And the world doesn't need more people running from it. The world needs more people who own it, and who stand in the middle of their chaos and say, this is where I build. Because legacy is not written in comfort. It is carved in courage. And if you want to leave something behind, something bigger than a job title, something deeper than a digital footprint, you must become the kind of person whose name means something, whose presence changes rooms, whose mindset shifts generations. You want to build real wealth? Then build yourself. Build a mind that cannot be shaken. And build values that do not bend under pressure. Build routines that make discipline feel like a spiritual ritual. Because money can be taken. Circumstances can collapse. Markets can fall. But who you've become, that is permanent. And that's what they can't teach in business school. That's what no certificate, no guru, no shortcut can ever give you. You can't download it. You must earn it through work, through fire, and through long nights, empty pockets, silent doubts, and still you rise. You rise because your life is not a lottery. It is a mission. It is a sacred contract between you and the future version of yourself who already has the wealth, the freedom, the empire. And every decision you make is either a vote for that version or against it. So vote wisely. Make your bed like a king. Speak like a leader. Talk like someone who already owns the outcome. Because that's how wealth is built internally before it's ever seen externally. The truth is, there are people watching you right now. Not your followers. Not your friends. But your future children. Your bloodline. Your unborn legacy. And they're silently asking, did you break the chain? Did you rise where others quit? Did you become the one who changed it all? If the answer is no, then don't just hustle. Transform. Don't just work. And become. Become the kind of person whose existence is a gift to the world. Become so powerful in mind, so rich in discipline, so filled with fire and grace and resilience that no storm can touch you. That no system can trap you. That no limitation can define you. Because real wealth is not something you chase. It is something you awaken. It is something you embody. It is the echo of every right decision, every sacrificed temptation, every morning you rose when you didn't feel like it, compounding into greatness. This is the truth about building real wealth. You don't find it. You don't inherit it. You build it. With your thoughts, with your habits, with your fire. And when it's built, truly built, not even time can erase it. So now the question is not, can you be wealthy? The question is, will you become the person worthy of holding it? Because the path is open. and the storm is yours to command.